It was after work, and I swear he looked possessed. Thought maybe he had been doing drugs or something. I have no idea what happened. He attacks me from behind and gets me in a headlock, and I thought he was gonna break my neck. Ran to the nearest gas station and told him what was going on, and they let me go hide in the back, and he followed me there. And anyways, the guy came out with a baseball bat. They called 911, or they called the cops or whatever anyways. And I was like, God, there's gotta be something else, you know? Because the next guy I date, he's just gonna hurt me even worse. My sister, she calls me, I really think you should go to this Harvest Crusade. I was like, yeah, I really think I need God in my life. I remember being down there, and I remember telling the Lord, I want you. I want you in my life. I want to be saved. I want to go to heaven. I want to be forgiven. But I want to party. I'm 21. Like, I'm going to ask you into every area of my life other than that. My dad, he stuck around until I was about 9 months old, a whopping 9 months old. And then he left us for his secretary. Thought he just maybe made a mistake. And, you know, he'd come back for me. I remember my mom saying, oh yeah, your dad's coming to get Mike and Michelle, but you can't go. I thought, oh yeah? I'm gonna go put on my Thanksgiving Day little outfit that I made, you know, in preschool, and he'll think I'm cute. And I remember standing at the porch with my mom behind me, like holding me, and I'm watching my brother and my sister get in his truck, and I remember just my dad just waving from afar from the truck. I remember yelling, Dad, I wanna go with you, I wanna go with you. And I don't know why. I don't know why I couldn't go. And I watched my stepdad drink, and I never said I'll never be like him, but I grew up to be exactly like him. He wasn't a yeller, he wasn't violent, but he ignored me. And I think for what I had experienced with my dad, that was probably the worst thing you probably could have done to me. I remember when I took my first drink, really, my real drink, when I was 13 with my friends, it was like something happened. There was a switch that turned on, and I was like, I have found what I have been looking for. I was in my car, and I was going to my first doctor's appointment. Tanner's dad didn't show up. My life flashed in front of me, and I realized at that moment I was going to be a single mom. Thankfully, I had family, my mom, my sister, and so I moved up to Fresno. That's where I met what I thought was going to be my husband. Tanner, as soon as I got engaged, started calling him Dad. That went downhill real quick. And he told me he wanted a divorce. And through all that, while I was getting a divorce, I find out my dad's dying, and he's got about a week to live. You know, Lord, how could you let this happen? You know, I thought, you know, I was gonna pray about it. I thought this was gonna be a, you know, you're gonna turn this marriage around. Now my son's involved, and he's hurt, and just the look of, you know, the look of pain on his face, you know, it paralyzes you. It hurts so bad. The moment you wake up, you're crying, and it just brought back all that pain of my stepdad, of my dad. It was like a willful decision. I'm not gonna go through this. This is too much pain, I can't do it. And so I ran to what I know best, and that was to drink. The past 4 years have not been good with Tanner and I, you know, with my drinking. So we move here, and my son's going to Lewis. Still hurting, you know, from the divorce, but you know what? I am hell-bent to give us a different life, better opportunities, a beautiful city. He's like, Mom, there's a Christian club at the school. And I'm like, yes, cool. And he's like, oh, they're with this church. It's called The Grove. Mom, it's right around the corner. It took me like a couple years to even be able to like sing in church again. I was just mad. You know, I was mad. I was mad at God. It's like, why didn't God fix my marriage? He fixed everyone else's. You know, it was just all I could do was just to sit there and listen. You know, just shake my head, nod my head at everything what he was saying, but I would still leave. My heart was still cold, and I was still in a lot of pain. And then at that, I was like drinking. So I'm like, nah, I'm this really horrible person. I think I was in more pain now because of my drinking than I was because of my problems. And I just didn't want to continue to hurt my son. And I knew this place was a good place. This was the place that was gonna, like redeem us, This is where, my ashes are gonna turn into something good.
All the times you tried to get here right.
I'm sober. I'm working a 12-step program. I can't tell you enough how much the Hoffmans have helped us and have changed the trajectory of our life. I mean, Tanner had no one. He didn't have a dad, he didn't have a male figure, and now AJ and Colton and Brandon and Taylor, those 4 guys have been the biggest mentors in his life. 4 to 6 weeks ago, I was in church on Sunday, and I remember God telling me, Christy, you don't have to be filled with shame anymore. He said, I forgive you. So don't hold back. Just let go. And I was able to just stand up and raise my hands and, worship. I just got this sense of you know what? It's gonna be okay. Look at what God's doing. He's filling Tanner's life with these guys, this awesome ministry. First time in my life, I feel like there's finally a purpose for me. All of my past is finally gonna make sense. I like myself now. I can worship now. You know what? I feel like a breath of fresh air. It's gonna be okay.
And the point where we began